In the rich tapestry of pre-Islamic history, the Middle East and Africa stood as a crucible of culture, philosophy, and mysticism. Among the stories that shaped this era were folklores, legends, and tales, each echoing profound truths and enigmatic mysteries. These narratives not only influenced the cultural and spiritual life of the region, but also left an indelible mark long after the passing of the Prophet Muhammad and the compilation of the Celestial Quran. Today, we will embark on an intriguing journey into the esoteric realms of three prominent monarchical legends from the pre-Islamic era. But this isn't just a history exploration or lesson. We're delving deeper into the realms of numbers, symbols, synchronicities, and hidden meanings. Using Arabic gematria, an ancient numerological system based on alphanumerics, we will decode their names in Arabic to uncover what might be a concealed code hidden within the fabric of these stories. The purpose of this video is to serve as conjecture and a resource that can be given to any spiritual practitioner looking to find the truth within the numbers. In this video, I will be providing you guys with a numerological groundwork that can be expounded upon, worked on, and collaborated on to find a deeper meaning beyond what I am showing you. So with that being said, who are the three monarchical figures that I will be utilizing for conjecture and theory based off of numerological practices? Well, the three monarchical figures I'll be using in pre-Islamic history is the King Shahryar from Persia, the Tuareg queen Tinhanan, who ruled over what is now known today as Morocco, and finally the Persian king Jamshed, not to be confused with a singer Junaid Jamshed. So how will I be uncovering the numerological significance and meaning behind these pre-Islamic monarchs? The way I will be doing this is by running their Arabic names through four distinct alphanumerical ciphers. The four distinct alphanumerical ciphers in this respective order is simple gematria, ordinal gematria, ordinal reduction gematria, and simple reduction gematria. So I will now be expounding upon the meaning of those ciphers. So let's refer to this table of values to better understand the meaning of these four alphanumeric ciphers we're going to be using. So at the bottom of the table, you see something that says geometrical value. If you look at the geometrical value, it goes up by place values instead of sequential order. So this type of cipher, we like to call it simple gematria. Then at the top of the table, you see something that says sequential values, the numbers in red. So this is the letters going in through their respective order through the Arabic alphabet. So this type of order and where we convert the letters into the red numbers is called ordinal gematria. So now that we have simple gematria and ordinal gematria out of the way, you're probably wondering, what is simple reduction and ordinal reduction then? Well, simple reduction and ordinal reduction is simply just the simple and ordinal gematria, but reduced to a single digit. So an example of this is if you look at the 16th letter, right? It's valued at 70 in gematria. So in simple gematria reduction, we will reduce that to 7. And the sequential value is obviously 16, right? So what we would do is we will reduce 16 to 6 in ordinal reduction. So that is the meaning behind all four ciphers. Moving on to the actual decode. Let's get started. So starting off on the decode with King Shahryar's Arabic name in Arabic gematria, we have two breakdowns here for the two first ciphers that aren't really the meat and potatoes of the breakdown just yet, but they are like a good indication that there is a synchronicity with King Shahryar. So King Shahryar in simple gematria is valued at 716 or 716, and King Shahryar's name, Arabic name in ordinal gematria, is valued at 77. So what is the synchronicity we can find within these constraints of 716 and 77? Well, actually, we see the occurrence of the number 77 twice. We see the occurrence of the number 77 twice, and when we break up 716 to 71 plus 6. If you break down 716 to 71 plus 6, what does that give us? That gives us 77, right? So let's move on to the meat and potatoes of the breakdown. So, this is what I believe to be the meat and potatoes of the breakdown of Shahryar's name in Arabic gematria. First of all, if you look at the simple reduction values of Shahryar, you get the number 14. So by reducing the sheen to 3, the hay to 5, the ra to 2, the ya to 1, the alif to 1, and the ra to 2, we get the number 14. Now, why is this relevant? That is consistent with the rest of the decode of the number 77, because 7 plus 7 is 14. One thing that's also worth noting, and this is really where I believe like the real significance of gematria comes in Shahryar's name, it comes in the ordinal reduction value of Shahryar. So if we reduce the sheen and ordinal reduction to sheen's ordinal value to 1, and then hay's ordinal value to 5, and then ra's ordinal value to 2, and then do ya's ordinal value to 1, or alif's ordinal value to 1, and then the ra's ordinal value to 2, we get the number 12, right? But here's the thing though, there's something unique that we can do with numerology, and this is this. We can take strings of numbers, like we can take like sequences of numbers and turn them into other sequences of numbers. For example, notice how all in all, right, the ordinal reduction value of Shahryar is 152112, right? So we can turn those these 6 integers and these 6 reduced integers into 2 3-integer numbers, 2 3-digit numbers. The 2 3-digit numbers in question being 152 and 112. So when we do this, when we create 152 and 112 and we subtract the 2, we get the number 40, which is the equivalent of the letter meme. So you're probably wondering, how is the letter meme relevant to King Shahryar? Well, it's actually relevant to the astrological archetype of King Shahryar's story. You see, in lunar astrology and in solar astrology, the letter meme is associated with 2 things. It's associated with the moon in Virgo, and it's associated with the sun in Gemini. These 2 archetypes, these 2 astrological archetypes, are in relation to King Shahryar, and I'll explain how. So in the story of King Shahryar and the 1001 Arabian Nights, King Shahryar is obsessed with virgin wives. He's obsessed with virginity, and he's obsessed with sexual purity of his wives, to the point where every time he married a virgin, he would divorce her, or even some stories say executed her whenever they lost her sexual purity. So that is how King Shahryar's so the conflict of the story lies within the moon in Virgo. It lies within Shahryar's obsession with virginity. Then what we have is the resolution of the story. The resolution of the story resides within the sun in Gemini, and I'll explain how. The resolution of the story is a woman decides to marry King Shahryar, and on the night of their wedding, she spends 1001 nights communicating with him and telling him different stories of her life, or not her life, but different legendary stories that she obtained through her wisdom and through her intellect. So what that's pointing towards is a lot of Sun and Gemini energy, because Gemini is typically associated with communication, speaking, thoughts, different personalities, a lot of things like that. And also, it's 1001 Arabian Nights, right? 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 2. And Gemini is typically associated with duality, 2, right? So, with that being said, this is why the letter meme is so relevant to King Shahryar, even though there's no memes in King Shahryar's name. It has to do with the astrological archetype of the letter meme, which is, again, the moon in Virgo and the sun in Gemini. So yeah, that's pretty much the relevance of King Shahryar's geometrical name. Moving on to the next breakdown we're going to be doing, and that is going to be on Tin Hinan. So This is the resource I'm going to be giving you guys in response to Tin Hanan's name in Gematria. So in simple Gematria, her name Tin Hanan is 566 in Arabic Gematria. In ordinal cipher, it's 80, which will be relevant later in the meat and potatoes. And in the ordinal reduction cipher, it's 21. However, if you multiply all of the single digits together, you get the number 640. So you're probably wondering, how is the number 80 relevant to the meat and potatoes or the full breakdown of Tin Hanan? Well, it's very simple. So this is the meat and potatoes of understanding the astrological archetypes and the numerical synchronicities with Tin Hanan. So it starts off with, obviously, like I said, the ordinal cipher that gave us the number 80. But it also relies within the simple reduction value of Tin Hanan. So if we take the Arabic letters of Tin Hanan and simply reduce them to single digits, we get the numbers 4, 1, 5, 5, 5, 1, 5. If we add them all together, that gives us the number 26, which isn't really a good number decode-wise. However, if we multiply all the numbers, we get the number 2,500. Then if we divide 2,500 by the number that occurs the most in the breakdown, that being 5, we get the number 500. So 500's Arabic gematria equivalent is the letter Tha. So now we have two letters associated with Tin Hanan, Fa and Tha. So what are the astrological archetypes of Fa and Tha? And do they have any relevance to Tin Hanan? They actually do. So the Arabic letter Fa, which we reduced from the ordinal cipher that equals to 80 of Tin Hanan, the lunar mansion that is associated with Fa is called the crown of the forehead. Now this is really relevant to Tin Hanan, as we know Tin Hanan wore a crown and that she was of regal and monarchical status. So the crown of the forehead completely lines up with Tin Hanan. Then we have the letter Tha. What is the lunar mansion that is associated with the letter Tha? Well, the lunar mansion that is associated with the letter Tha is the moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is typically associated with authority, power, and regime. And these are all archetypes that are associated with Tin Hanan, as Tin Hanan is a very authoritative, powerful, and regimental being that ruled over present-day what is now known as present-day Morocco and the Tuareg people. So this has been like a breakdown, and this has been me showing you guys what the archetypes or what the numerological archetypes associated with Tin Hanan is. Now, moving on to the final breakdown or the final archetype that is associated with the Arabic gematria, that being King Jamshed, the also Persian king, like King Shahryar. So let's move on to it, shall we? So, for the final resource that I'm going to be giving you guys, the final numerological resource I'm going to be giving you guys, is in relation to King Jamshed. So, let's break down the four gematria values of the four ciphers that are associated with the Arabic name Jamshed. So, simple gematria, the value of King Jamshed is 357. Then, in ordinal gematria, it's valued at 51. Then in ordinal reduction, it's valued at 12. And in simple reduction, it's valued at 15. So, there are two synchronicities in this archetype that I can find that are relevant to you guys. The first one being that the ordinal gematria and the simple reduction are both the same number, just reversed. So ordinal gematria is 51, and then simple reduction is 15, which is just the reversal of 51. Finally, I'm going to show you guys the relevance of the simple gematria value of King Jamshed, and it lies within the magic square or the low shu. I'm going to explain to you guys what that is in a second. So the low shu is an ancient Chinese numerical grid that is associated with numerology, astrology, and mysticism. It is used to break down codes and understand different meanings of numerology. The way this is relevant to King Jamshed is if you read the numbers from left to right, 492, 357, and 816, you see the simple gematria value of King Jamshed, which is 357. So you're probably wondering, how is this relevant? How does this sync up with King Jamshed? Well, that's the funny thing, guys. I want to leave that open-ended and up to your guys' interpretation. So typically speaking, for the first two decodes, I did the meat and potatoes of how the monarchs are astrologically associated. With King Jamshed, however, I want it to be a team effort, a group effort, a collective ideal that can get us towards the meat and potatoes and breaking down the relevance of King Jamshed's name. So, if you guys would like to break down and further research and further incorporate and find more resources that are associated with King Jamshed, or even the previous monarchs like Shahryar and Tinhanan, if you feel like I missed something that was astrologically or numerologically associated with them, be sure to comment down below and share the video with a friend and check it out. I thank you guys so much immensely for watching this video. This has been the 21st, or I believe the 31st, either or, video on the Ikhwanas Dahab channel. And yeah, I'm very happy with how this video turned out, how it was created, and most importantly, how it was formed. So if there's anything I could do better, please let me know. If there's anything I could expound more on, please let me know. If you guys would like some resources on the lunar mansions and the Arabic letters with the solar zodiac, be sure to comment down below and I will provide the two for you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This has been the Ikhwan Astahab, and peace out.